So let's see where Libra's at. And Libra's in the moon. I've had the moon come up in the majority of the readings so far. The moon, judgment, sun. And the moon is one of those cards that can be kind of the best of times and the worst of times. It can talk about a beautiful emotional time where you're going with the flow. There's creativity, imagination, just lovely flowing feelings. But it also is the card of perhaps mystery and illusion. I call it the rose-coloured glasses card in many situations. And often that's what we wear when we're thinking of our love life, because we do want it to be rosy. So it's the card Pisces, and Pisces can be, they have a reputation of sometimes being a little self-deceptive. They do like to live in the fairy tale world. They like to see the best in everything. It's not always the case, though. So we'll just clarify this with the other cards. But the moon is, as I say, can go either way. Could just be that you're in the love flow, or it could be that there's some uncertainty around your situation. When we look at the past, see what there was in the past as to why you're there right now. So the Wheel of Fortune. Now, as we know, the wheel goes round. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. So you've recently completed one of the cycles, going up or going down. We'll look at the present card to see where you're at with that. But interesting to note, we're circular and circular. Again, this is something that's coming through in all the readings. It's kind of like, maybe with this Venus retrograde, we're going around in circles a little bit. We're retracing our steps. We're reviewing, reassessing, reworking relationships, in particular with Venus. So the present, where you're at right now, is the Lovers. You couldn't ask for much better than that, could you? So perhaps this was after a period of waiting that you found your current partner. If you're not partnered, then that Lovers card could in fact be another person that just makes you feel good, kind of like a kindred spirit. Yeah, they tend to be significant relationships when the Lover's involved, divinely ordered, if you like. So this looks like you're in a really good place right now. Now we'll look at the future card with future in mind as being early to mid-December, by which time Venus retrograde will be over. And I think it's even out of stationary. I think it'll be very much on the direct path then. And we'll just see what that brings for Libra. Brings the Hermit, a time of introspection. Now, the Hermit is looking at the Lovers. So this is what the moon is all about, trying to illuminate the situation. And in order to do that, you need, with the Hermit and his little lamp there, maybe there's something that you're a little uncertain about with regards to the relationship or the situation within the relationship. Or maybe yourself. Maybe there's something inside you that you're a little uncertain about, which would make sense with the Hermit, because these are not about your partner. This is the you card position, and this is a card of solitary, deep soul searching. And with them looking at the Lovers, I think you're really going to do some very deep thinking about your current love relationship. If you're not in a relationship, perhaps you are thinking about what you want to manifest for your next relationship. And perhaps this is where the confusion is. Maybe you're not sure. If things haven't worked out in the past with various people and relationships, it may be that you're sending mixed messages to yourself and therefore out into the universe as to what you really want to manifest. And the Hermit will help you determine that so that you can go forward knowing what you want and where that sits within the rest of your life, with regards family, jobs, friends, hobbies. Because sometimes we think we know what we want and then we get it and we realise, that old saying, be careful what you wish for. You're going to have your very level head on, and Libra does have a level head, but they're also very romantic, as is the Moon card. Maybe you're in your Libra romantic phase and everything's beautiful, and then in the future you realise actually you might need to just tweak that up a little bit and decide what it is you really want out of the relationship and your partner, whether it's current or future. That's always a good thing to do. It doesn't mean there's something wrong, it just means you're clarifying what you need. And if you're not going for what you need, it's going to be dissatisfaction down the line. So that's a healthy thing to do. And perhaps over the holiday period coming into December, I know it's very busy, but you also may get some time off to be on your own, maybe take a few days out away from your partner and other distractions, and really have the time to do that. If you're lucky enough to be able to do a retreat, that would suggest it's a good time to do so. And really just solidify in your mind what it is that you need with regards to relationships. Now, this is the underlying circumstances or factors about your love life. This may be something you're not aware of. Could be a surprise element. Could be something with your partner. So it's outside of yourself. And we'll just see what that is. And that's the Magician. So there could be somebody or something that comes along and sparks your interest. Now you see the Magician card is not the card of Leo, but it has the infinity sign here, which is on the strength card of Leo. And there's a lot of gold here, which is Leo. I'm wondering if there could actually be a Leo individual that you meet, not necessarily romantically, but who helps you with your look at your relationship. Perhaps they give some illumination on what you want, what's happening, what's going on around you. Look out for a Leo person. I know that's a slightly strange association to make with the Magician card, but the Magician has everything he needs to get things done. And he's not afraid to use whatever he has at hand. Perhaps this person will give you some help, give you something that you're missing at the moment to make those inner connections. But I don't see it necessarily as a temptation, although I suppose anybody can be a temptation at any time. But that's not really what I'm seeing with this. I'm seeing it as somebody who's going to help you manifest, because the Magician is the great manifester. Manifest what is for your highest good with regards to relationships, or at least help you figure out what that is that you need to manifest. Although the Lovers looks like it's going very well, there's obviously something in these two cards that means there needs a little more thought around it. So I'm just going to have a look at an oracle card, maybe give us some guidance about this situation. It's the Oracle of Visions by Cero Marchetti. Beautiful artwork. Aha, okay. So we've got number 24 here. Now you'll see this is a slightly complex card. See, she's playing chess, which indicates the games that we play with ourselves and with others. She's also behind bars. Okay, doesn't appear to be glass here, so it looks like she's, got freedom, but these bars indicate otherwise. And the bars on the cage, okay, those butterflies are caged. Now, I'm going to make an association here with butterflies and Libra. Libra is often called a social butterfly. They are very social. They do flit around, they're busy, they're chatty, they have lots of friends and associates. I'm wondering if our Libra butterfly is feeling a little caged. Okay, maybe feeling a little caged within the twosome. I mean, it's very natural for Libra to be in a relationship with the scales, etc. And they work very well with relationships, and they rule the 7th house of relationships. So that's a fine and happy place for Libra to be. But if you feel that you're sort of a pawn in someone's game, or you are being caged, perhaps that's why you need to take some time out, maybe physically actually go on your own, like I said, a retreat, or even with friends. Some time, not necessarily apart from your partner, because you can do that even at home. You can go into meditations and make sure that you have your own time and space within the relationship. That's what I'm seeing there. So this card really talks about, that old saying, if you let something, I can't remember how it goes, but basically if you let something go and it comes back to you, it's yours. And if it doesn't come back to you, it never was yours. I feel like you might be feeling a little bit stifled. You need your alone time, your downtime. And you need to be allowed out of the cage to be your natural social butterfly self. So that's really quite interesting that butterflies came out for Libra. Well, I've got way too many there, so that one just popped out. This is from the Crystal Angels Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. To close out the reading, let's just see what sort of crystal guidance we have for this reading for the next 4 weeks. Apophyllite, increased support. I don't know if you can see that. Your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened the doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. Okay, so maybe with this Wheel of Fortune, the change was that you were open to actually having a generous and reciprocal relationship, and you found that person. You just now have to figure out how to integrate that committed and solid partnership within your other factors of your life. All those butterflies need to be able to be free and fly. So you still need the support here, the increased support from the Apophyllite. You still need the support of friends and family, hobbies, colleagues. But you are positive and willing, and you have the focus. That's what this card is saying. You've opened the doorway. Now you have the help available. This is there. You've opened the doorway to the help. Here's the Magician offering you whatever it is you need to make this work. So it can definitely be done. I don't see an ending of the relationship, but I think you might need to do a little tweaking to make sure that it's meeting all of your needs and not stifling you. That you can be in a relationship and still have your independence and freedom, and your partner needs to realize that just because they open the door to the cage and you fly out doesn't mean that you're not going to come home at the end of the day when you've seen all the people you need to see and done all the activities. And because a caged Libra is not going to be much fun for anybody. The social butterfly needs to be released. So you might like to look at getting a little bit of Apophyllite. It can come in a range of colours. There's green here, which is a very popular one, but it's very easy to find in the clear variety, as you see here. It looks a little like clear quartz like that. I do have a piece, but it's a little far away for me to grab. But it's multifaceted. It comes in these clusters. Usually, I mean, you can have points, but these clusters, and they're very sparkly. You need to be allowed to sparkle, not clouded. Okay, you need the sunshine to sparkle on you, like it's got on here. So I think this particular card speaks really well. In fact, that cage even looks very similar. I can just hold those together. That cage looks very similar to the lantern, doesn't it? So I think you're not going to have to do too much soul searching. I think you know what you need. You need a little bit of freedom and independence. So perhaps the Hermit is more about just having the time to yourself rather than being constantly coupled, joined at the hip springs to mind. You don't want to be joined at the hip. Someone's going to come in and help you integrate that and manifest what you need. I'd be interested to see how that plays out for you. I'm sure it will all come right. It's not wrong now, it just needs a little tweak, I think. But you do need to give voice to what you need. You can't keep quiet about it, otherwise it will fester. So take some time out for yourself, appreciate your partner and the relationship you have, but you need to express what's going to work for you.